another metaphor. Let's call it the muddied masterpiece. See, God wants us to receive his grace. And you receive God's grace, it's the simplest thing in the world. You just open your heart and say, oh, God, I'll stop fighting you and I'm going to start trusting you. Okay, you're God, I'm not, I get it. And he wants us to receive that grace into our lives. But he wants us to do more than receive it, more than live in it. He wants us to embody grace to others. Do you know what it means to embody grace to others? It means to go to other people and just accept them without condition or reservation. It means just as is. I accept you. I love you. I serve you. I don't even care I don't care if it's your fault for the mess. It's irrelevant to me. Because I see in you beauty. I see in you value. I see in you power. I see in you potential. I see that in you, and because of that, I just accept you no matter what. Is that how you see people? In their beauty and potential and power? Do you see that so clear that it drives you to just accept them and love them and serve them no matter what? Imagine you were in a garage sale one time. You were rummaging through some old paintings, and you came on one that obviously wasn't a print. You rubbed it, it's got real texture. And you said, I think this is the real deal, it's a painting. And then you looked down in the corner and you went, man, it was painted by some guy named Vincent. No, it couldn't be Vincent van Gogh. But it only cost a couple of bucks. So you buy it for a couple of bucks and you go and you do some research and you realize, wait a minute, this is actually Terrace at Night by Vincent van Gogh. Somehow I found this in a garage sale and speed didn't get taken care of. People didn't know what it was. It got abused. It's kind of stained. It's got some dirt on it. But man, that is a Vincent van Gogh. That thing is worth tens of millions of dollars. How would you treat it? What would you do with it? You'd go, man, this is my ticket to the life I always wanted. Would you treat it gently and would you just protect it, and would you take it to an expert that knew how to restore paintings so they could get rid of the stain and they could clean it up and it could be in its pristine original form and all of its beauty could be seen? Wouldn't you be able to look past the mud and see the masterpiece? And wouldn't you treat it with incredible respect and dignity? Wouldn't you take it to someone for restoration because of its inherent value? Of course we would. Every person is a muddied masterpiece. Every person. Every person made by God has value and beauty. Every person made by God has power and potential as humans. But of course there's dirt everywhere. It's how we all are. And my question is, do you see the mud or the masterpiece? Because that will determine how you relate, whether you love without condition, whether you accept without reservation, whether you are grace to other people. Is it, oh, they're gay? Or they're masterpiece? Oh, man, he sleeps around. He's a masterpiece. Oh, he is so arrogant and filled with greed. Or he's a masterpiece. Ah, he's just an addict. It's on dope, man. Oh man, she's just so lazy. What a masterpiece. What do you see, mud or masterpiece? What causes your spirit to react, the mud or the masterpiece? With God, we all know what it is. He sees the mud, but he sees the masterpiece, and what reacts in his gut is what could be, and the beauty and value that is there. And if we're anything like God, we do the same thing. It's a powerful metaphor. There's another one. It's a mirror. Anybody have a mirror in their home? Anybody ever look in it? Everybody like what they see? You know what the problem with the mirror is? It tells you the truth. That's the problem with the mirror. You know, I look in the mirror. Yep. Same problems that were there yesterday. They're there today. So the mirror just says, look, here's who you are, okay? This is how you look. Deal with it. That's you. There's more mirrors than just backed glass that reflect our external thing. Life has a way of throwing up other mirrors that show us our inner self. Circumstances that arise, people who speak into our lives or that do things that we act against. Life is filled with mirrors. We go to church, we read the Bible, and it's like a mirror, and it reveals something about us inside, and those mirrors just tell us the truth. And can I ask you a question? What's the truth about what we're really like on the inside? Some of us are flawed enough on the outside, everybody gets it. But there's a whole lot of people that look okay on the outside. But what are we like on the inside? Really? Who amongst us have thoughts that if anybody else knew, we would be ashamed? Who amongst us does not have internal desires for things that we know are wrong and they're corrupt and they're damaging, but we have this attraction? Who amongst us have not done things in the darkness that we want to keep in the darkness? Because if they ever get drug into the light and we're exposed, it would be like death. Who amongst us does not struggle with fears and blemishes and flaws that we try to get a handle on for some reason we can't just get over? Aren't we all busted up? Aren't we all muddied? Aren't we all gunked up? And if you do not think you are, do you really see yourself honestly? So the deal is this. When we live with an awareness of how desperately we need grace, when we live with awareness that without grace we are lost, in that awareness, it is so much easier to give grace to others because we know what it feels like to need it. Many years ago, there was a woman. I don't know her past. I don't know the scars. I don't know the problem. I don't know that bringing up. I don't know her backstory. But I know this. For some reason, something inside of her drew her to a man she was not married to. She struck up an affair with him. And cheating on and betraying her husband and trust and family and all of that, she gave herself regularly to another man. And the religious people in town found out about it. But being your typical devious political religious person, they decided they're going to save that for just the right occasion.